Hello guys, Puddin here, and as you saw in the thumbnail, today's video is going to be about what is arguably the most important detail in this game, which is how far can the Archer Queen shoot. The reason I'm making this video is because I often see experienced players unsure or even downright wrong about the Queen's range, and if you don't know the exact range of the Archer Queen, you're simply not going to have a good Queen charge plan, or any good plan for that matter. So today's video will be a full coverage of exactly how far the Archer Queen can shoot, and how to properly count tiles for essentially any base that you will see moving forward. So before I start talking about the Archer Queen, I want to set some ground rules, just so we're all on the same page, and it's a little easier for me to explain all this. So first of all, in Clash of Clans, the bases are sort of in X shape, so there technically isn't horizontal or vertical lines, but just for the sake of explanation, I'm going to call these lines horizontal, and lines going this way vertical. Okay, and then in terms of actually counting the tiles, you're really only concerned about the range of the Archer Queen when there's a wall separating the Queen from the building that she wants to hit. So how we're going to be counting the tiles is we're going to be counting the tiles that are in between the outside of the walls, that the compartments that the Archer Queen is in, from the building itself. So if that's a little confusing, I'll give you a few examples. So say for example your Archer Queen is in this in this compartment, and we want to know how far this gold storage is. So we're going to say that the Archer Queen is 1, 2, 3 tiles away from this gold storage. So basically we're counting from this end to this end, and there's 3 tiles in between there. And if you want to know how far this dark barracks is, we're going to say that this is going to be 1, 2, 3 horizontally, and then 1, 2 vertical. So 3 horizontal and 2 vertical tiles away. We're counting from this corner to this corner. And notice how I didn't, for the vertical, I didn't count this. It's only 2 tiles, because again, like if you look at the corners, right, and we want to know how many vertical tiles are in between these corners, it's just 1, 2 tiles. This one's not included. So that's why I did that. And to give you another example, say the Queen is in this compartment and we want to know how far this gold mine is. We're going to say that this is 1, 2, 3 horizontal, and then 1 vertical. So yeah, that's just the method I'm going to be using to explain how far buildings are from certain compartments in this video. Alright, let's start by looking at this corner of the base, where everything from this compartment is 3 tiles horizontally away from the compartment. So I'm going to drop my Queen in here, see what building she gets. So she gets everything on the right side except for that dark barracks. She gets the 2 cannons. She's going to be able to hit the town hall as well, but she's not going to get the cannon. So let's go out and we can watch a replay and count the number of tiles for the buildings that she was able to hit. So of all these buildings in this corner, the building that was furthest from the compartments that the Queen was able to reach was this town hall, which is basically 1, 2, 3 tiles horizontally away, so nothing vertical. And that's basically in terms of any buildings that are 3 tiles away, so anything 3 tiles horizontal or 3 tiles vertical, the Queen can hit. But as soon as there's one, like for example 3 tiles horizontal and 1 vertical, because of that 1 vertical tile, the Queen is not going to be able to hit it. So again, you guys should already know this, but these buildings are able to be, like, the Queen is able to hit because it's only 3 tiles. And again, the town hall she can hit because it's just 3 tiles away. But the cannon, for example, which the Queen couldn't reach, the cannon is 3 horizontal and then 1 vertical. And because of this 1 vertical gap, Queen is not able to reach it. Same thing for the dark barracks above. It's 3 horizontal, but then 2 vertical. And because of the 2 vertical tiles, the Queen was not able to reach the dark barracks. And this is helpful in looking at layouts like this, where say if the Queen was in this compartment in this corner, she can definitely reach the elixir collector, but she can actually reach both these storages as well, because this storage is 3 tiles horizontally away and this storage is 3 tiles vertically away. And I have a base, a small base build just to explain this. So here it is. This is what I used for the thumbnail, and so basically the Queen can reach the Inferno Tower in the middle from any of these 8 corners. And because again, it's 3 tiles away here, 3 tiles away here, 3 tiles here as well, so it's the same anywhere. And it doesn't matter that the building inside that the Inferno Tower is a 2x2 building. Like, it's the same thing for the 3x3 at Expo and the 4x4 Eagle. Even if there was a 5x5 building, even though they don't have those anymore, the queen will still be able to reach it. So if you look at this one, again, from this corner to this corner, it's just 3 tiles away, so the queen can hit it from all 8 corners. But the reason I built this grid is because there used to be a bug. Like, in the past, there used to be a bug in the game where the queen couldn't hit if she was coming in vertically. So she could hit the Eagle Artillery if she was in these 4 corners, but not in these vertical corners. So this, I'm going off on a side note here, but this was actually a problem in the World Championship because players were building based on this knowledge, based on this bug that the queen was not able to hit this Eagle Artillery or whatever defense that there was there if they were coming in vertically. But then in the updates right before the World Championship, Supercell actually fixed that bug, so that kind of screwed over the players, so they actually had to talk to community managers, who then reverted the bug for the World Championship. So during the World Championship, this bug did exist, this was in place, but now that that's over and we're in Town Hall 13, the queen is able to hit this building in the middle from all 8 corners. And again, this is helpful in layouts like this, where say if the queen was in this corner, she can reach the Wizard Tower because it's 3 tiles away, and same thing here, if she's in this corner, she can reach the Town Hall because it's 3 tiles away. And again, it doesn't matter that the Town Hall is 4x4, there could be like a 7x7 building if they ever come out with that, but as long as the corner here is placed right there, the queen will be able to reach that. So that is tip number 1. Let's move on to this corner of the base where everything is 2 tiles vertically away from the compartment. So again, I'm going to drop my queen, see what she gets, and then we can count the tiles afterwards. So it looks like she's going to ignore the air defenses. She gets that elixir, or dark elixir collector, now she's beating on a wall, which means that she can't reach either of the air defenses. So let's go to the replay. So the furthest building that the queen was able to reach was this dark elixir collector, which is 2 tiles vertically away and 1 tile horizontally away. And the next furthest building was this one, this air defense, which is 2 tiles vertical and 2 tiles horizontal, but she couldn't reach it. Same thing with this one. This one is 2 tiles vertical, or 2 tiles horizontal and 2 tiles vertical. So these are equidistant from the compartments, but the queen couldn't reach either of them. So, I mean, this one's really simple. All you have to remember is that the queen can reach any buildings that are 2 tiles vertically and 1 tile horizontally away, but she can't reach any buildings that are 2 tiles both horizontally and vertically away. Now let's move on to the next corner where everything is 1 tile away. So I'm going to drop my queen here. So basically you're going to see that this one is kind of repetitive from the ones we've seen before. It's basically going to be the same thing. So the queen can reach that gold mine I mean, elixir collector. She can reach this one as well, but she can't reach the one on top. So let's count the tiles to see why not. So again, she was able to hit, for example, this elixir collector because this one was 1 tile vertically away and 2 tiles horizontally away, which is exactly the same thing as we saw for this dark elixir collector. It's just, 2 and 1. So, this one was 1 and 1, and this one was, which she could hit, was 1 and 2. So again, same thing, but she couldn't hit this gold mine, which was 1 vertical and 3 horizontal, which which is the same thing as the cannon we saw here earlier, down below. So again, the queen can do 1 and 2, but the queen can't do 3 and 1 or 2 and 2. So now that I've explained everything, let's go take a look at some actual war bases from our recent war to see how this knowledge can be used. So let's say we want to see if this single Inferno Tower at the bottom is reachable from the outside by the queen, so if it's a walkable Inferno Tower. We're going to have to check from these two corners, right? And if you check from the bottom corner first, this is going to be 1, 2 horizontal, and then 2 vertical, which means that it's not reachable from the bottom corner because, again, 2 and 2 you can't reach. If you check from this corner, it's 1, 2, 3 horizontal, but then it's 1 vertical as well, so 3 and 1 you can't reach, meaning this is not a walkable Inferno Tower. So take a look at another base. For this one, let's say you want to charge your queen into this compartment to take down the town hall. And you also want to know, say, if this clan castle is reachable from this compartment. So I've showed you examples of this before. Basically, if your queen is standing in this corner, this clan castle is going to be reachable because it's going to be 1, 2, 3 tiles vertically away from where she is standing. So she can reach the clan castle for that. So let's go take a look at another base. For this one, say we want to know if this Inferno Tower is walkable, right? So we have to check from this corner and this corner. So looking at the bottom corner first, this is going to be from here, 1, 2 horizontal, and then 1, 2 vertical. So 2 and 2 you can't reach. Looking at this one, it's going to be 1, 2 vertical, and then 1, 2 horizontal. So again, both are 2 and 2, meaning this is not a walkable Inferno Tower again. Let's go take a look at one more base. And for this one, say we want to do a queen walk, and we want to know if this bomb tower is going to be reachable from the outside by the queen. So we're going to have to check from this corner, and this bomb tower is going to be 1, 2, and 3 tiles away from this outside corner, meaning it is going to be reachable by the archer queen. But one thing is that just because this bomb tower is reachable by the queen doesn't mean she's going to get it. So say if you drop your queen here, she's walking down this way. Because of this gap, she's going to take down these buildings and then move on to take down these buildings and ignore that bomb tower like 90% of the time. So I mean, that's just something to keep in mind. Just because it's reachable doesn't mean the queen's going to get it, but theoretically, if the queen's standing right here, she will be able to get that bomb tower. So that's it for today's video, and all of this is essential for any attackers basically above Town Hall 9. And for those of you who want to get into base building, this is a fundamental topic that you need to know to build any decent base. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.